Hello everyone, good day. I am Dr. Vernita Glenn White. I go by Dr. V, and thank you for joining me on another Mornings with Mom. If you are new to me, I am an expansion strategist and consultant, speaker, author, all those great things. But what I love to do is to help individuals, mainly high achieving women and groups of people, to expand all areas of their lives, and especially beyond their degrees, positions, and titles, because as high achievers, we spend a lot of time on our professional side and not so much on our personal side. And then once we get to a certain level, we're looking around like, oh my goodness, what is next? So in order to do that, there are several ways to connect with me, but during this series, I'll be talking about some areas of like spiritual growth and encouragement. And then I'll be talking about health and wellness. And if you are interested in just starting opening up your eyes or expanding your eyes to 12 areas of your life, you can click the link in the bio up there, or I'll put it down below, and you can get your 12 area health and wellness assessment. So that you'll click the link, enter your information, you'll see this document, and then it's 12 areas, because a lot of people kind of know about 5 areas. Most times we only talk about 2, professional and personal, but we never really look at what is the personal side. So there are 12 areas for you to consider how to expand and upgrade your life. And that's what true success really is. And since this is Mother's Day, Mother's Figure season, I think it's very important where we focus on encouragement for the mothers. If you're a mother, if you're a mother to be, or you're a mother figure, or you have someone looking up to you. And then also looking at health and wellness, and health about things that you do, and wellness is things how you be. That's how I kind of think about health and wellness. And so what I've been doing on this series is going through this book I wrote on behalf of my mother. She passed away in 2012, 3 weeks after my grandfather passed, and she died of breast cancer. And it came back again. So she had a mastectomy, but it still came back, and it ended up metastasizing, and there it is. And one thing I noticed is that she started taking care of her health later on in life, because she was working at a job for all these years and didn't have health insurance. And then she was under a lot of stress, more than I realized. I found out how much stress she was under after her passing, and learning more things about her. But she tried to shield my sister and I away from a lot of things. She was a single mother, and thankfully we had our grandparents to help out. But she did a lot of things on her own, and didn't realize how much stress she was under. So I truly believe, and I'm a doctor, but not the medical doctor, not that kind of doctor. I truly believe that stress and not taking care of yourself, not eating right, or having the proper supplements, nutrition, and sometimes we can't always have the best food, but we can, have a certain level of supplements that we can take to. That's why they're called supplements, to supplement what we're missing in our in our food or our overall diet. So I realized that she was under a lot of stress, but in between all of that, raising my sister and I, she was also a traveling evangelist. I don't know if people really understand what that means, but she went all over really the state of Florida, because she didn't travel outside much, and that's a whole nother story. I mean, she traveled, but not during her workshops and speaking and all of that. Well, no, I can address it here. Most people back then, she didn't know that was something you could do. She didn't know she could do that. Didn't have the proper people in place to really say, hey, you can expand this beyond your comfort zone, or things like that. So maybe that's what I'm doing, right? So she wanted to be this Christian educator. She was, but she wanted to have physical products. And again, you don't know what you don't know. And she wrote some notes and things down, and she mailed them to herself. And I found them as I was cleaning up her things when she passed, but it was a little bit after that I was like, okay, I need to make this happen for my mom. And so what I did was I wrote a book using her notes, and of course I filled in some gaps, and I got my sister to contribute some of the stories that our mom used to tell us, And that is why this book is called Practical Applications for Biblical Principles, Lessons from Our Mother. And so the book is like 2 books in one. One talks about the spiritual first aid kit. It's 9 tools, an actual kit that you can put together as a reminder of the ways that God has your back, right? And then in between, after each tool, I talk about an icebreaker or a practical thing that my mom used. A practical, some of it is every day. It's not every day to certain people. The last 2 series have not been things you would find around your house every day, but for some people they are part of their everyday lives. So my mom was big on making things make sense. And it's probably why, like, for my training and development company, part of our tagline is finding practical solutions to complex situations, because my mom was very practical. She was like, look, if you don't get something, there's always an easier way to look at it, or something that you connect that's practical to figure out what this means. So she did, she had a lot of like icebreakers, and yeah, I'll just read them so you have an example. So the book is not big at all. I've been encouraging people to get these. They're like 50% off now on Amazon. You can get a bundle for encouragement. You may not get them in time for Mother's Day, but Mother's Day doesn't have to be on a particular day. Mother's Day can be any day, mother figure day, or wannabe mom, whatever the case may be. Something to get a words of encouragement. I've had some people who purchased the book. I put it out in 2019. I didn't do a big thing about it because it was just, let me just complete this for my mom. But it was like, she would have wanted as many people as possible to get this message. So I decided to like give it life again. So some people who read the book, they were saying that it did encourage them as mothers, but I also had people who weren't mothers. I had men say that it gave them a way to open up to talk to their young children, you know, about things that were happening in life. So when I say it was practical tools, and I'll give you an example, and it just opened the door for more communication. And look, that's a win for me. So I've been reading these series, and today we're going to talk about Miss Connie's Corner. That was my mom's name, or is my mom's name, Miss Connie. And this lesson is the beef heart. So for some people, it is every day. It's practical, like that's what they have in their household. Depending on, at that time, we had a lot of Caribbean friends, like in our youth group and things like that, and they said that the beef tongue, kidney, and now the heart were just certain things that they would eat all the time. So some people may say ill, some people say it's a delicacy, so you don't judge. So this one is beef heart, flesh or frozen. So tonight in Bible study, because we used to call Bible study Thursday Night Live, tonight in Bible study is the last night of the animal body part series, because I told you we talked about the beef kidney, we talked about the beef tongue, and now we have the beef heart. Miss Connie passes around 2 packages. One includes a frozen beef heart, and the other bag includes a thawed beef heart. Yes, my mom would look. My sister and I would be in a car going to these strange, I don't want to say strange places, because you don't call them strange, unfamiliar places, like places we don't go to every day to find these animal parts. And they were grocery stores, but they were specialty grocery stores. Ms. Connie explains how the heart is one of the most important organs in the circle of life. It is a great indication that people are animals and alive, that people and animals are alive. Our hearts for humans can also reflect our attitudes and type of spirit and energy we give off. Often, people can discern the true nature of a person by what is in their heart. How a person is on the inside eventually comes out. Miss Connie tells the students, trash in, trash out. She loves saying that too. Back to the 2 types of beef hearts. Miss Connie explains that the frozen heart represents our stony, hard, stubborn nature, while the thawed heart represents our fleshy, soft, and pliable nature. The students understood the common sense notion that if your heart is cold and frozen in the natural, you are dead. And if it is warm and moving, you are alive. See, practical. Miss Connie went on to explain how a lot of people walk around alive, but with frozen hearts. How many of you know some people like that? She reminded the students of how Pharaoh had his heart hardened by God when Moses went to free the Israelites. No matter what Moses said or did, Pharaoh did not budge. And that story is in Ephesians chapter 7, 8, and 9. You can follow that. One student asked, well, how does a person's heart turn hard? Does God still harden people's heart? Without going too deep into with the teens, or because she worked mainly with teens, young adults, and then her women's conferences, Ms. Connie provides a few examples of what could lead to a frozen heart. 1, you may stop caring about things. You may stop caring about things around you and have a numb feeling towards your family, friends, or work, or etc. You believe that there aren't any good people left in the world. I know some people like that. You don't allow yourself to express your emotions. How many of you know people, or maybe it's you, like you just don't express anything about yourself? You may not be passionate about anything. It's like, you wake up and say, what's the point of life? You may be overprotecting a broken heart. Or in other words, you have a wall up. Like, how many of you can relate to that? Number 6, you may feel hopelessness. And number 7, you may live in constant worry. So this is not an exhaustive list, but those are just some of the things my mom pointed out. On the other side, Ms. Connie talked about having a heart of flesh that God can penetrate and mold into hearts like his. She talks about how David was a man after God's own heart, and therefore it is possible for our hearts to be the same. Throughout the Psalms of David, he writes about the characteristics of his heart. Ms. Connie states that as we should follow David's examples and be obedient, repent often, remain faithful, be humble, be reverent, be trusting, be loving, and have a respectful attitude. It is important to know that God looks at your heart in everything that you do. Even when you smile and act nice, God still looks to see that we may be angry or have pride in our hearts that we are not displaying. However, Ms. Connie warns the students to be careful with not being in tune with their hearts because that place flows the issues of life. So that's the scripture, like out of your heart flows the issues of life. You can walk around and pretty much fake it, but whatever is inside your heart, or whatever is really the true, thing on your mind, that comes out. So then I end with the scripture, Ezekiel 36, 26 through 27 from the AMPC version. A new heart I will give you, and a new spirit I will put within you. And I will take away the stony heart of your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my status. And you shall heed my ordinances and do them. So if you desire a change in heart, ask God if you believe in God, and he'll give it to you. Questions to consider. Do you have a frozen heart or heart of flesh? And I don't know if you've ever seen a beef heart, but it's a pretty big thing. It's a pretty big chunk of flesh, if you've ever seen it. Or, our human hearts are the size of your fist. So imagine like if it is something that's really hard and don't move. I used to want to be a medical doctor back in the day. So I remember taking those anatomy classes and really looking at the heart. And the heart really is an amazing muscle. So, it pumps, and it, like the scripture says, out of it flows the issues of life. But in real life, it flows the blood. That's your lifeline. So physically think about that. If it's not pumping and moving, what happens? And then think about that on another level, when it's your attitude or your feelings or emotions, what happens when that's hard? What can flow out of that? If you have a hardened heart, what are some steps that you can do to start thawing or softening the process? My mom was all about action steps and reflection. If you already have a heart of flesh, what are some things that you can do to continue the path of being like David and having a heart after God's heart? Remember that there's still hope. So told you they were very short passages, and we have one more that we'll do in our next series to wrap up Mornings with Mom. But again, very small book, encouragement. That's my little sister. That's me. And if you want to see my mom, she's in here too. That's my mom. She was the lady with the church hat. She was one of those. But yeah, just some words of encouragement. Again, it may not come in time for Mother's Day, depending on when you see this, but you can always give the gift of encouragement and a thought. I think books are very nice gifts to give people. So that is part one of what I do with these series, to share value, to share encouragement. And being that this is Mother's Day season, a lot of people, this is not a great time for a lot of people. So if you still have your mother or your mother figure around, just appreciate them wherever they may be. All right, so the second part, I told you that I focus on expanding multiple areas of people's lives. So I'm not just going to come to you with one thing. I'm going to make this very brief. The promo for the skincare that I showed you in the other series, it ended on May 7th, but you never know what the company does. So I still invite you to just go check it out to get the skincare line. And the best one, I think, is the Inside Out, regardless if it's the promo. So the promo, you get a range of $230 to $260 worth of free items, the value, different discounts and things like that. If you're watching this after the promo, it is still a great bundle because you get an entire skincare line and you get 2 bottles of liquid collagen, whether you want life or pure. And this is the time I told people who are still hesitant about trying new health and wellness products, do a bundle. So that way you can get the most value, you can save, and if you're new with me, you get $10 off. Excuse me. So I say do that. Let me drink some water. And then what I've also told people, some people are like, oh my gosh, it's expensive. And I say expensive is relative. But you can say that it's not a financial priority to you at this time because you don't want to put those, we talked about words in one of the other series. You don't want to put that in the atmosphere. But one, it is a higher grade and higher quality of product because for me, I was looking for something to up-level my health and wellness because I got tired of just getting like generic versions, or I wanted to start putting the best possible ingredients into my body to really start my clean living lifestyle, because it is a lifestyle. It's not just something you do start, stop. I do say that if you try something, the company has a 30-day return policy, even if you open the bottles and you absolutely hate the products, no questions asked, and you deal directly with the company. You don't have to send anything back to me. So it is no risk. You can just try it, and if you don't like it, send it back. Or like I said before, how many times we purchase things, we don't like something, then we don't buy it again. So I just show you that I take the supplements. I showed you the other day that I actually use the skincare line. And today I'm showing you the liquid collagen that I take. This one is Life, and it focuses on, all of the collagen are great. It's the most dominant protein in our bodies. We all need collagen, male and female, because men, you need to, you want to plump up your skin and get your joints and your tendons and all of that back in optimal prime. Sometimes we think that we have these aches and issues because we're getting older, and that's not true. I believe my mom, if we knew about collagen back then, because we thought collagen was something else for other people, but then the powdered collagen started coming around, and I don't think we introduced my mom to that. I don't think she knew about that to that kind of level. Like we knew about biotin for hair, skin, and nails, but not really collagen. I started getting into the powdered collagen after she passed because I was like, okay, I got to do better with my life, health-wise. And then I was always pretty good with health, but it was what I was putting in my body. So I knew how to work out. I knew how to do diets and trends and things like that, but not really focus on supplements. So I was doing powdered collagen for the longest time until I realized the power and the benefits of liquid collagen. So after that, I take liquid vitamins, and I started with another brand of liquid vitamins, and I saw the results, and then I started focusing on this company and their ingredients and things like that. And I was like, wow, that is awesome too. So I've already liked liquid vitamins over the pill form anyway, because anything liquid absorbs faster into your bloodstream. So this one has minerals in it, so it's a little tart, but hey, just a tablespoon. And then the other thing that I take is this fat burning pudding. I took a break from it just to see how my body would react, and now I just started back. And I am seeing results. I have a few people who are taking the full lean body system, and you can message me about that. And then I have some people that are only taking the trim, and they're seeing results in their skin, and they're seeing like their bodies physically changing. And I have some men on it as well. And you know, sometimes men get older and they get that little gut. They're seeing some changes, and they're not even finished with the whole bottle yet. So this is the trim, the fat burning pudding. Mine is in coconut lime. There are different flavors: mango, lemon, chocolate, which I'm allergic to chocolate, so I'm not taking that one. This one's coconut lime, and vanilla. Vanilla gets mixed reviews, but I know someone who loves it, and I'm like, okay. So this is the fat burning pudding, and this is a Probiotic. I'll tell you a little bit. Well, I take this, the Probiotic, which is like one of the first in the world, this new technology. It is a prebiotic, a probiotic, and a postbiotic. So this is like the next level of probiotics. And if you are really into up-leveling your digestive health, it's a bundle that goes with this too, and I would recommend you do that. So I mix it together because I don't like the texture of the little grains in my mouth. Like a little dessert. But if you're like, I don't know if I want to put that investment into my gut health like that, an alternative is the probiotic Pixie stick. I will be taking this again because I started with this, saw great results, and then I switched to the Probiotic because it was the first launch in this company to do that. So I was like, well, as a distributor, I need to try that. And plus, I want to focus on gut health as well. But I'm coming back to this one because this one tastes great, and it's more fun, and it's more economical. This one is like $30, and you get a month's supply, and this is not $30. And if you want to know about it, you can ask me if you really want to get into gut health. But if you want to be fancy and up-level your gut health, I don't recommend buying this by itself. I recommend buying a bundle, and you can message me for that. But yes, everyone needs a probiotic. This one is great, and it helps all of these supplements to absorb faster into your bloodstream because the gut is the brain or the central command center of your body. So if you're cleaned out, everything else works. All right, so that's all I have for you today. So those of you who are mothers, mother figures, mother-to-be's, wannabe mothers, or just a woman in general who's looking to expand and up-level certain areas of her life, you can get the book or a few of them to give yourself some encouragement to fill yourself up, and then you can focus on some high quality supplements so you can feel to be at your best self. All right, so that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Dr. V, and remember to be well, be bold, be empowered, and be brilliant. Until next time, bye.